Each year at the start of San Diego Comic-Con, io9 likes to give you a floor tour to show you what's going on at the convention. This year, there is no San Diego Comic-Con thanks to the coronavirus. So we decided to do the next best thing. Some of the io9 staff is going to take you on a tour of their own geeky collections that kind of are our own personal Comic-Con. Take the ride with us. Let's go. One of the coolest places on the Comic-Con floor is Artist Alley. So to start our tour, we're going to replace Artist Alley with my poster collection, which as you can see is massive. This entire room is filled to the brim with art. Some of my favorite pieces include Mondo posters for movies such as Kill Bill or the Star Wars trilogy, all of which are by artist Tyler Stout. Artist Jason Edmonston did the Halloween franchise justice with these two posters that are meant to be displayed side by side. I also like to collect art from some of my favorite childhood movies, such as this Cloak and Dagger poster by Dave Perillo and this Last Starfighter poster by Tom Whalen. You'll also notice a lot of art by artist Craig Drake in my house, who's one of my favorites, including this Ramona Flowers piece from Scott Pilgrim. And who's that up there guarding my Miyazaki collection? It's Bolton. These are probably the pride of my poster collection with the Olimos Star Wars set. I'm not the only io9 staffer who collects art. Beth, let's see what you've got.
Well, my collection might not be as robust as Germain's, but that's partially because I'm limited to the size of a Brooklyn apartment. But here it is, my personal nerdy art wall. We've got a signed poster from the Mystery Science Theater 3000 revival tour when Netflix rebooted the show before it was unfortunately canceled. We also have a print that we got at a recent Comic-Con from BioShock, which we also have a larger poster of. But you might notice a little bit of a theme, and that theme is Futurama. And the reason for that is because my husband and I really love that series. In fact, it's one of the first things we ever talked about when we first started dating. So we've been slowly collecting more Futurama art over the years. We've got the Delivery Boy Man comic signed by Billy West, but for some of them we've gotten a little bit creative. These two prints right here were actually from a Futurama calendar. We cut them out and we put them in record frames. You might also notice some Planet of the Apes posters. That was not my choice. My husband is a huge fan of Planet of the Apes, so we've got a couple of those on there. The things you do for love. But this nerdy art wall isn't the only thing I'm proud of in my house. I also have my other pride and joy, which is dun, 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 my growing board game collection. As y'all know, I cover board games for io9, and for the past couple of years, I've been slowly growing my own personal collection. Everything from 2 to 4 player card games, cribbage being one of my favorites, to tabletop RPGs, which is a recent obsession of mine. I actually find that pulling out a board game and playing it on an afternoon is a really good way to unwind, especially during social distancing. And I'm actually curious, Germain, what yours is.
One of the things I do to relax is build Lego sets, and we have an extensive Lego collection, including this Disney castle, complete with Walt Disney drawing by Joshua Buttigieg. Here you have the largest and most expensive Lego set ever built, the Ultimate Collector's Series Millennium Falcon. Maybe you've seen footage of me building this. It is now in its permanent home here on top of my shelves. Displayed on top of a shelf in the poster room are more Star Wars ships. This is Slave One with Boba Fett's helmet, UCS X-Wing fighter, B-Wing, A-Wing, Y-Wing. Here's the Jurassic Park gate with T-Rex, Hogwarts Castle in all our majesty. This is Dominic's Charger from the Fast and the Furious next to the Batmobile. Voltron, Stranger Things, of course, make an appearance, played with Upside Down and the Real World. And no pop culture Lego collection is complete without Quickie Mart or The Simpsons home. Lego is just one example of cool merch you can find on the Comic-Con floor. Jill, show us some other stuff.
Here we are at the exclusive merch area, aka my Enamel Pin Collection. As someone who collects a lot of things and moved into an apartment several years back, I realized I had to start limiting what I actually bought because I didn't have a room for it. Pins are the perfect solution because you can get a lot of them and they don't take up a lot of space. I love this Back to the Future 2 one because it's based, of course, on the Nike sneakers that Marty wears, and it actually lights up. This, of course, is a Disney pin, the only one that I have on this board, but Disney pins in and of themselves are a whole different thing. I do have a lot of those, but we don't have time to get into them now. Just wanted to let you know that yes, I am one of those people. Here I have a bit of a series of Fifth Element pins, my favorite movie. We've got Corbin, Dallas, and Lilu over here, and then a series of the 4 stones and the ZF1. Here's 2 of my favorites because they mix cats and pop culture, 2 of my favorite things. Another collector's item that a lot of people are usually looking for on con floors are, of course, statues. A few that I have here are based on the specific cover girls of the DC universe. We've got Black Canary, we've got Hawk Girl, we've got Zatanna, and in the back you'll see a couple of my favorite redheads. We have Starfire, and of course, Poison Ivy. I also have 2 really neat DC Bombshell statues. Now, these are based on art, there's now a comic, but the 2 that I really loved was Harley Quinn, who comes with a cool little pistol gun that has a tiny little Batman charm on it, which I find adorable, and also a Batwoman who's done in sort of a League of Their Own style look. I also have, good for these times that we're living in, a Apocalypse Wonder Woman who is supremely badass that she wields a chainsaw, you guys. I would be remiss if I did not mention the absolute highlight of my DC statue collection, and that is this enormous Sideshow Wonder Woman statue. I can't even tell you from the scale how big it actually is, but the base is basically the size of my head, and she looks like she could kick my ass. So pretty much my favorite thing ever. You may notice I don't have any Marvel statues. I do like Marvel, but just not as much as DC. That being said, I am excited for a few things when they eventually happen in the real world, like the Disney-themed Marvel Land that's going to be coming out. Of course, Disney has so much these days. They've already got their Star Wars Land, Galaxy's Edge. We know someone who's been there a few times, Germain.
Did I hear someone say Galaxy's Edge? I got a lot of Galaxy's Edge stuff. This is my shelf of stuff that you can only get in Galaxy's Edge. Most of it. We've got Coke cans, we've got Boba Fett, we've got the Millennium Falcon, we've got Chance Cubes, Sabak, we've got Rancor teeth that won't come out, we have Ahsoka Tano, we even have a Spork that dropped. As you can tell, I've got a lot of Star Wars stuff, so now I'm going to show you some more. This is my Black Series collection. I have a bunch of Black Series from The Mandalorian, The Last Jedi in the back, The Rise of Skywalker, and even some Lego and stuff peppered in. These are my Star Wars Hot Toys, which I'm very, very proud of and excited about. Here's a Funko Millennium Falcon, Boba Fett and Han and Carbonite, Funko, Hoth, Han, Funko. This is a metal Millennium Falcon print by artist Craig Drake. This has got to be one of my favorite pieces in my entire collection. It is a 6-foot tall, life-size Han Solo and Carbonite art piece on metal by artist Craig Drake. It's one of 15 in the entire world. There's one thing you don't see a lot of in my collection is because James hoarded them all. Baby Yoda.
Yes, that's right. As Germain mentioned, I have, as you can see, a bit of a problem in that I have several Baby Yodas and I can't stop collecting Baby Yodas. This is just a small bounty of my little bounties. Yeah, I just don't know what it was. I could not help myself once I got the first one because he was so adorable. And then they just kept going like, hey, we've got a Baby Yoda coming out, and we've got a Baby Yoda coming out, and we've got a Baby Yoda coming out. So I was like, I think this is going to be the thing. He just sort of sounds mildly distressed all the time, which I guess is a mood for 2020. Any reader of io9 knows that I, A, love Star Wars, and B, love action figures and toys. I've got Rise of Skywalker figures, I've got a few of the figures from The Mandalorian, I've got a few of the recent Empire Strikes Back anniversary figures, mainly Luke, R2 and Yoda. I've got the Lego Tantive 4 set that came out a few years ago because I love Princess Leia and she's my favourite Star Wars character, so in another bit of theming there, I have not one, but 2 different Star Wars action figure shrines. One is Princess Leia's. I have all my little action figures of her, I have Funko Pops, I have some of the retro figures. The second shrine is to my other favourite Star Wars character, Admiral Akbar, because he is a spaceship commander, and I love spaceships, so he's always been cool. I got myself the very fancy replica of the Skywalker lightsaber. So it is apparently for 8 years and up according to the sticker. I'm much older than that, but probably 8 years and up at heart. So it is the main Star Wars lightsaber. I mean, come on, you've got to have the Skywalker lightsaber. I had to have this. You don't go to Star Wars Galaxy's Edge and not build your own Jedi lightsaber, so naturally that was the other one I picked up. This is the one I built myself. Yes, I went for green because green is the coolest lightsaber colour. Sorry, Samuel L. Jackson.
Oh, you want lightsabers? I got lightsabers. Let's go over here. How about these lightsabers? Here we have an Icon's Skywalker lightsaber from the late 90s with Jedi holocron and all of the Kyber crystals. And here is a Count Dooku prop replica lightsaber from Attack of the Clones with Sith holocron and Kyber crystals. Bolton, you like blasters? Because I got blasters too, James. I've got my Han Solo blaster from The Empire Strikes Back. I've got Han Solo's blaster from A New Hope. Oh, and what's this? I also have my very own lightsaber built at Savvy's Workshop on the Planet Batu. And I challenge you to a duel.
How about you, Jedi scum? God, I look like such an idiot.
No Comic-Con would be complete without stopping at the Funko booth, and here is our Funko collection. I mean, it is extensive. We've got so many things. I've got Coming to America, I've got A League of Their Own, Gilmore Girls, The Lost Boys, Star Wars, of course, a lot of Disney stuff, Robin Hood. We've even got Cobra Kai and Captain Marvel. Dan, do you like Funko Pops? Dan, how about we just hang out with you instead of Comic-Con? Can I just hang out with you? I guess not.
Whether you like them or not, it would be impossible to talk about merchandise at a comic book convention without talking about Funko Pops. And yes, I am one of those people. I like collecting them. I don't hate them. I know that's cool to do. I've obviously got the Star Wars ones. I've got a lot of the Mandalorian ones at the moment because obviously they have a Baby Yoda and I had to have the Baby Yoda. I've got 2 more different Baby Yoda Funko Pops coming on the way. Like I said, I have a problem. And I don't care.
Actually, I only have 2 Funkos. I know, I'm kind of a betrayer to nerddom everywhere, but these were the wedding toppers for mine and my husband's wedding cake.
I had to actually stop collecting for a while and live it myself because it got a little out of hand. Down here, we have the small Disney section. Then I've got a whole Game of Thrones section here, including this lovely Ned Stark with his decapitated head, which is probably the best Funko Pop ever made. I also have, of course, the Khaleesi's dragons, only in their baby forms though, because they made several different versions, and like I said, it was getting out of control. I'm certainly never selling these because I adore them. And one of my favorites is, of course, from my favorite movie ever, The Fifth Element, Leeloo Dallas Multipass. And probably my second favorite pop is the sexy Ian Malcolm from Jurassic Park, one of the greatest scenes known to man. I think it's safe to say it's probably a good thing that I'm not going to be on a convention floor this year because, yes, I have enough Funko Pops.
Well, there you have it. Hope you enjoyed this io9 home tour San Diego Comic-Con preview. With any luck, maybe we'll see you next year in San Diego. I hope to see you there.